give an introduction of myself. My name is Tyrus Smith. I'm an enrollment coach with Huston-Tillotson University's adult degree program. I've been with the adult degree program since about 2015. I am a proud graduate of Huston-Tillotson as well. I graduated in 2012, and immediately after I started working for Huston-Tillotson University in the traditional undergraduate admission department. And I've enjoyed it all the way and made my transition to the adult degree program in 2015. And so I enjoy what I do. I'm looking forward to assisting you guys with furthering your education. And keep your ears open and let us know if you have any questions or concerns. This information is meant to help you so you can, of course, make a more informed decision. I will go ahead and let my coworker Jill introduce herself.
Hi, everybody. My name's Jill Lundgren. I'm very excited to be working with everybody. I see a couple names on there of attendees I've been talking with. Just love helping people, and I'm so glad that you guys are here tonight. Welcome, welcome.
Awesome, thank you, Jill. I believe my supervisor, Courtney Walker, is away right now, but when she returns, we'll go ahead and let her introduce herself. But we will go ahead and move on with the program. So the first one is basically the first class adult degree program specifically started in 2013. So the program is not that old, it's actually fairly new. And since then we have worked out a lot of different things, and the program has seen some different changes, but for the most part, as it is now, the starts are per semester, and we're moving forward with the adult degree program. This next slide is basically a clip information about the history of the school, so you can have an idea of what that entails. Sit back, listen to this, and afterwards we will go back in to the presentation. Everybody able to hear that? Let me know.
Well, historically, in the United States, education, the country was segregated. The nation was trying to reconcile the former battles of the Civil War. These institutions grow out of the legacy of slavery and then Reconstruction. And Reconstruction was an effort to rebuild the nation. And the efforts of the Congregationalists, now known as the United Church of Christ, and of the Methodists were typical of many of the mainline Protestant churches during that era. They were eager to make a difference in the lives of the freedmen, as the descendants of slavery were called. And these missionaries of these churches primarily made their effort to try to create an institution that would build upon the eager enthusiasm which they discovered quickly among the descendants of slavery. Here in Austin, there were two groups that were moving simultaneously. One here, now known as the Tillotson site, where Congregationalists had a secondary school. In Austin, during that time, there were no public schools prior to the University of Texas, prior to public education, but there were efforts all around by churches, church groups, missionaries, Congregationalists and Methodists, and abolitionists who were trying to enable the freedmen to find their place in the society. But it was wilderness, and there were people right out of slavery, and there were farmers and strugglers and poor people who were trying to make a way for themselves and find a life for themselves. And Tillotson College grew out of that. George Jeffrey Tillotson, who was a congregational minister in Wethersfield, Connecticut, came south and decided this would be an excellent place for a collegiate institution. So they brought together about $16,000, and that acquired the property originally called Allen Hall, the first building west of the Mississippi, built by African Americans or the coloreds following slavery for education. Tillotson went through the stages of being a secondary school and then a collegiate school, which really didn't mean that it offered very many college courses. Just as the American Missionary Association found the support of George Jeffrey Tillotson and the Congregationalists, a Methodist farmer from Marengo, Iowa, Sam Houston, made a gift of about $10,000 as long as the college would bear his name. So they changed the name of the Methodist school that was just a mile from here, from Andrews Normal School to the Southwest Texas Conference School to eventually Samuel Houston College. Methodist Foundation put their effort into the freedmen's education and liberation and empowerment, and to build from a secondary school to a normal school for the training of teachers, and then to put on the levels of 3 and 4 to make a 4-year college. But eventually the leadership, the trustees of Tillotson College and Samuel Houston College decided that these two schools, each with about 500 or 600 students, a mile apart, in what was the capital, watching the University of Texas begin to grow and mushroom, watching the land-grant movement build colleges all over the nation, why don't we put our efforts together and build one strong college in Austin? But it was a volatile time and yet a hopeful time. Frightening, I think, probably to some of the people from Samuel Houston who did not want to lose their identity. So therefore, that hyphen is very important between Samuel Houston and Tillotson College, because alumni of both campuses were proud of their institutions. But it was missionary zeal. It was efforts of people who wanted to make a difference in the lives of this generation of people who were the descendants.
Family.
We knew our students by name and not by number.
And everybody knew everybody on campus by name and a little bit about them.
We're a small institution, and all students, we make them welcome.
What this college has as its unique mission is to provide an opportunity and to create a safe space where students can learn, can be encouraged, can be nurtured, and at the same time, because it is small, faculty, staff, and students all have a working relationship.
We made so many friends and so many contacts, and we can look back now and remember some of those and truly enjoy the fact that we had that opportunity.
My professors were not only professors, they became my extended family. Not only were they my extended family, but they were able to pull out the inner strengths in me that I didn't see. And so they encouraged me and motivated me to go beyond the limit, not just do, enough to get by, but to excel and to exceed in everything that you do. And that has transformed and carried over into the person that I am today. I'm able to pull those strengths out, recognize those strengths, and to move forward knowing that my best is just not enough. I have to give more than my best.
I considered every student to be a child of mine, and I always wanted them to be successful in whatever they chose to do.
Parents that have had the opportunity to study here will always recommend this institution to their students and to their kids and to their grandkids. And so it's just a special place, and it had always been a special place.
People meet, interact, get married, have children graduate and come back.
The one thing that was always so welcoming was to see the students who came as freshmen and who were creating all those problems to walk across the stage 4, 5, sometimes 6 years later, having secured employment. And you were looking at them and saying, surely that can't be the same person.
Well, still, there's need for institutions like Huston-Tillotson to provide a place for those who may not necessarily be the top in their class, but who in the course of 3 or 4 or 5 years can be made competitive to go to any graduate school in the nation and to succeed in any industry in the nation. And the alumni of Samuel Houston College, of Tillotson College, of Huston-Tillotson College, and now of Huston-Tillotson University are proving that all over the world.
I hope that we made a difference because we cared.
That's this institution's mission, to empower people for the future by enabling them to find their space and to make a difference.
Today, at least I can say that there are those who come back and who say to me that I made a difference.
We will have to find ways continually to be relevant and meaningful to the community. And I think we have the engagement of the community at this point that will ensure that we will find that niche for ourselves as we go into the latter years of the 21st century.
You know, the faculty, staff, students have built a community of celebration of the heritage of this institution, the mission of this institution, and the hopeful future of this institution.
We're fortunate that all the key indicators look very good for the university. We're certainly pleased with the growth in the enrollment. We expect that to continue. Particularly, it will continue as we mount new programs and new opportunities for students to pursue. We're also pleased with the fact that we were able to be reaffirmed with our accreditation without any glitches. We're excited about the prospect of a health and wellness center being built on the campus, the first new construction in many years, and the prospect of a new school of business being developed on the campus. So there are just a number of plans underway that bode well for the university's future.
Huston-Tillotson has produced some wonderful students, some wonderful adults who are responsible and who are contributing to society.
It's a signature. It's who I am. Huston-Tillotson is on my portfolio. It's on my vehicle. Huston-Tillotson is my pride and passion, because had it not been from Huston-Tillotson, I wouldn't be who I am, and I wouldn't have the pride that I have, not only about my institution, but about the impact that I have on lives of others and the world today.
It's a small institution, but there's lots of pride. Few, but many are proud about this institution and proud of it and what it has done and what difference it makes in the lives of these students and their families and this community.
All right. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. It does give you a little history on this institution, so you have an idea of where it came from and kind of where it's going. So the next part of the presentation we're going into is why would you pursue your education? And so I want to take a little time right now for the individuals on the call to answer real quick. If you want to just respond in the chat, what are some reasons that you think that you would want to pursue your education? There is no wrong answer, just I'll give you a few minutes to put that down. Okay. Nice, nice. Okay, so I see Melissa, I think you started it but didn't finish it. There's one that says advancement in career field. Yes, most definitely. Anybody else with any reasons why you might be interested in furthering your education? Well, there are some. I'm sorry, go
Another
ahead.
person answered in the question and answer chat instead of just the chat.
Okay. What was their answer?
This is from Krista. She says, better my brain and the people around me.
Nice, nice. To leave a legacy of education for the family. Great answers. These are all great answers. After being in the military 8 years and commercial driver for 15, I figured it's time to get a real job. Understood. Understood. Nice. Okay. All these are great answers. Some of the other reasons are promotions. We also have personal goals, which basically was mentioned there, use of benefits, which is the military and things like that, which I will definitely touch base on here shortly, to be a role model, which I saw as well, and to be the first in your family. Speaking of that, do we have anyone on here who would be the first in their family to earn a degree? If so, just say yes in the chat. Perfect. And right now that initiates a poll question. So poll questions, are you considered a first generation college student? You should see that on the board and you would just answer yes or no. And I'll give you guys a few minutes to do that as well. And first generation, that just means are you the first one in your family to earn a degree? All right. It's about 50-50. Nice. So next, why not? Why would you not want to earn a degree? And I'll give you guys time to answer through the chat. And what are some reasons that you would not want to earn a degree or that you think an individual would not want to earn a degree? More opportunities, that's a great answer as well. Nice, nice. Yes, that's a big one. Busy with life and comfortable. Yes, complacency is very contagious. Cost, yes. Time restrictions, most definitely. Most definitely. So some other reasons are family obstacles, not interested and too difficult, not young enough, which I hear all the time. And I just feel like if your heart is in it and you want to do something, then really age does not really play a role in that. Um, Not enough time, work, kids. I know that was mentioned as well. So these are all different obstacles, different situations or reasons why an individual would not want to further their education. I'm busy with life, great one as well. Um, so as far as the admission requirements go, this is the admission requirements. The first one is a full year of full-time work experience, at least 1 year of full-time work experience. That does not have to be recent. You don't have to currently be employed, but you do have to have at least 1 year of full-time work experience within your work history. The other requirement is the GPA. If so, depending on the amount of credits you bring in, it's either a 2.3 or higher, and that's for high school. If it's college credits that you have, then that GPA would need to be a 2.0. If you have attended more than one college, university, or institution, we take the cumulative GPA, and that cumulative GPA between the colleges would need to be a 2.0 or higher. In this situation, if for any reason that GPA, whether high school or college, is lower than our requirement, that does not eliminate you. We just simply require you to submit an admission letter that explains what happened at those schools, what has changed, and how you plan to succeed in our adult degree program moving forward. There is some guidelines that we provide for you to follow, but as long as it is a page long, and that's just the front, not the back, at least the front page, and follows the guidelines, then you should be fine. The last and final requirement for the adult degree program is that you are either one, a U.S. citizen, or two, a permanent resident. Are there any questions about this information right now? And I can give you guys time to either answer in chat, or I don't know if you're able to unmute yourself, but if there's any questions, you can go ahead and about this right here, go ahead and let me know about admission requirements. No questions, so we will go on to the next one. So the adult degree program, this gives you a breakdown of the program itself as far as what to experience as in your classes. So 3 terms, that's 3 semesters, and that's basically fall, spring, and summer. You take 5-week classes. Each one of those classes only lasts a duration of 5 weeks. So literally you're only attending that class 5 times until you go to the next one. You do that one night a week, one class at a time. And that class time is typically from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. I do want to let you know that one night a week, it can alternate between a Tuesday, Wednesday, or a Thursday. And ultimately that day of the week is determined by student services, who admits the students into the program. So I wanted you to be aware that those days can rotate, but this spring start that's coming up will be a Thursday. And other than that, the 9 credits per term, of course, the term is referring to semester. So within a semester, you are looking to earn 9 credits, and that's a total of about 3 classes per semester. And the cost, well, per semester, you're looking to complete about 20, so per academic year, you're looking to complete about 27 credits, my apologies. So 3 semesters per academic year, And at the end of that year, you're looking to complete a total of 27 credits, and that's 9 classes at 3 credits each. So that gives you an idea of that setup. Are there any questions about this information right here as far as the setup of the program? You can go ahead and let those questions about this fly right now. Got one right. Jill, let me know if you see any in the chat.
I do see one. There's a question. Does that make the classes more challenging to get higher grades?
Oh, as far as the setup, well, the program, I can tell you it is a condensed program. It is shorter, more condensed than that of a traditional semester-based course. And so I would say, honestly, I would say it's a better setup for full-time working adults because you are taking one class at a time. Typically, you're only focusing on one topic at a time. So really, it would just come into prioritizing your time. And typically, if you work during the day full-time, usually in the evening, you would have some time to take those classes. So to answer your question, I would say it would not make them more challenging, but it would cause you to have to kind of prioritize your time in order to get that information within that time span. But great question.
And Tyrus, let me add to that.
Okay.
So we do tell you, because you are considered a full-time student academically, that you want to put in anywhere from 15 to 20 hours a week on your schoolwork. That is something that can help make sure you're setting aside anywhere from 2 to 3 hours a day on your studies. So that is something that, if you do follow, can help you be successful in the program. As Tyra said, you're only taking one at a time. Yes, they're shorter at 5 weeks, but if you do help schedule yourself some time to study, it's definitely possible. We have students that are on the honor roll, the dean's list. They get the honors cord when they walk across the stage, and are very proud of that, because as a working adult, it's not easy to maintain a 3.5 or a 4.0 GPA.
Thank you, Courtney. I appreciate that. Any other questions on there, Jill, that you see?
Yes, there's a few more questions. Chester wants to know if the classes will be online.
Good question. So right now, the classes are online due to the COVID situation. We are waiting for an update for this upcoming spring semester to confirm whether or not it's going to be online or face-to-face, and we can definitely follow up with you and let you know. But right now, we are waiting to see. I can tell you right now it is online, but great question.
And also, Lucinda wants to know, how would the exams be taken if we cannot attend classes on campus?
Good question. If the classes are virtual and it does remain online, then you would take those virtually. If it is online, you would log on from 6 to 10 and just take that class virtually. If it is face-to-face, then we will let students know about that. But currently, in this current situation, it is online, and we hope to have an update soon from the president of the university to see what this next spring semester is going to look like. But good question on that. But if the classes are virtual, you would take that class online.
Same thing with the tests, and all tests are virtual as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and then let's see, will there be any live video sessions, and can you start and finish your class online if that is your preference? Are the next two questions.
Great questions. Okay, so the first one, will there be any live video sessions? Yes, there will be. So the setup, typically you will be utilizing Zoom, and there will be an instructor providing information and direction for the students, and you guys will simply be kind of watching them virtually if it remains online. That is the live video sessions. And the second question, can you start and finish your classes online if it's your preference? As of now, overall, the adult degree program is a face-to-face program. Due to the COVID situation, we have had to switch it up, but just know that it is a face-to-face program. So at some time, the student will be required to attend campus. If that changes, we'll definitely let you know, but I do want you to be aware that it is overall a face-to-face program, and we've just switched it up right now due to this COVID situation, but we're hoping to resume once the situation permits us to. Great questions. Great question. Any other questions on there, Jill?
That was all that was typed up.
All righty. Good job, you guys. Thank you for the questions. The next.
And before you go to the next slide, sorry, Ty, I just saw that with the questions due to classes being online, I do just want to let everyone know that if you do decide to move forward, we will let you know and keep you updated as far as if the classes for spring semester will be online, or if they'll be here at the campus. But we are trying to keep pretty much mostly everything the same. The only difference is, instead of coming to the campus one night a week, you would just go online and do a live, like Tyra said, a live video session so that you guys can see each other. And then once it's safe to return to the campus, we'll do so at that time. But we are trying to keep it same night of the week, keep everything pretty much the same. So there's not much change. It's just, instead of going to the campus, you're online, or vice versa.
And then there is one additional question in there. Where's the campus located, and are there any satellite locations?
Good, good questions. And so the location, there's one location of the institution, and that is off of 7th and Chacon Street. So it's exactly 900 Chacon Street. That is the location of the institution, Huston-Tillotson University. And there's only one location. There's no satellite locations. But great questions. So the next slide, I'm going to discuss the degrees that we have available for you to earn here through the adult degree program. First one is business administration. We have criminal justice, psychology, and education, early childhood through 6th grade, and that's with generalist certification. And then we have an associate degree, which is basically an associate in liberal arts, which is your general education courses. The associate in liberal arts is a total of 61 credits. The other ones are pretty much 120 credits in order to earn that. Down below where you see previous credits examined for transfer, these are if you have other credits that you want examined and meet these requirements right here, then you're able to submit those to see if we can accept those. The CLEP, basically, it will allow you to test out. Some of those students take that at Austin Community College or other classes, and it allows them to test out of that class without taking it in its entirety. And AP exams, if you have any of those, then you would know what those are. But if you have any questions when it comes to the previous credits examined, just let us know. But this is the information about the adult degree program as far as the majors that we accept or the majors that we offer. Are there any questions about this information before I move on to the next slide as far as the degrees are concerned?
I don't see anything in the chat just yet.
Okay. All right. So on we move. And so ways to pay. I know this is a very important one. How are you going to pay for school? So there's no poll question. Yeah, there we go. Boom. Okay, so another poll question, guys. Time for the poll question. Right here, financial aid consists of what? Go ahead and make your selection there, and then we'll see what you guys came up with, and I'll go ahead and confirm afterwards. So I'll give you guys a few minutes to answer that poll. What does financial aid consist of, you guys? All right, all of the above. Grants, loans, scholarships. All right, we got some smart ones on here. All right, here we go. Great answers, you guys. Yes, you are correct. That is what it consists of. A little bit of all of that. Financial aid basically is federal assistance and is generated based off of your income. There is a FAFSA application you will complete. That will generate what you're eligible for in Pell Grant and loans typically. In order to accept those loans, you will need to complete the entrance counseling and master promissory note, just so you're aware. So completing the FAFSA by itself, it will not do everything. It will allow you to utilize Pell Grant money if you're eligible for that, but to take advantage of the grants and loans, or so the loans from there, you want to complete the entrance counseling and master promissory note as well. Tuition reimbursement or tuition assistance if your employer offers that. Oh, another poll question. Does your employer offer educational benefits? If so, what do they offer? Whether it's tuition reimbursement, military benefits, tuition assistance, or they don't offer anything at all. I give you guys, oh, nice. Okay, NA. Oh, so nobody's offers anything interesting. Okay. All right, well, just so you're aware, Now, if your employer does, we do accept tuition assistance and or reimbursement, and just need to know what they need from us in order to make that go through. Are there any questions that you see up there, Jill?
I saw one. They had a question if there's only bachelor's degrees available. I answered it in there that we do have MBAs as well.
Okay, cool. Yes, we do. We have an MBA, Master's in Business Administration, and there is also a Master's in Education with Principal Leadership. So those are other programs offered at Huston-Tillotson University as well. Um, and so, as far as the other ways to pay military benefits, if you are military, whether current or veteran, you could possibly receive a discount on the tuition. Um, and you can utilize benefits as well. We do use post 9/11, GI Bill, Voc Rehab in some situations, but we do not utilize the Hazelwood Act, and that's because we are a private institution. Scholarships also are ways to pay. Once a student is admitted, we typically can direct them to the scholarship department, and they will work with that student to see what they're able to obtain. Sometimes before school starts, it depends on when you're admitted in that time span, but they do work with students to see what they're able to obtain in the scholarship realm in the department. I also want to let you know that Huston-Tillotson University, we are historically related to United Methodist Church and United Church of Christ, as you saw through the video. And what that means for any individual that might be within those denominations is that you could possibly receive scholarships from that congregation. So I wanted you to be aware of that. I was United Methodist when I attended, and as a result, I was able to receive scholarships for that. Um, in addition, because we are a historical black college and university, what that means for anyone that attends an HBCU nationwide, regardless of your ethnicity, is that you are eligible for United Negro College Fund scholarships. So I wanted to throw that in there as well. The last and final one, of course, that cold hard cash, we will take that cash as well for payment. And so those are the different payment options. Are there any questions about the ways to pay?
There is one in there asking, can I pay for school out of pocket? If so, is there a payment plan before school starts?
Great question. Students are able to pay out of pocket for school. However, the way it will work with us is typically 80% is required before you start class. And so 80% of that, and I will cover the tuition and fees here shortly, but 80% of the cost of the semester basically is what is due up front if you're paying cash. You will pay the 80%, and then they'll set you up on a payment plan for the remaining 20. There are also other options with using financial aid along with out of pocket, maybe Pell Grant and cash. There is different payment options, but if you're paying cash, then they want 80% of that semester. And basically that's across the board, period. They want 80% of that semester paid for before you start, and the 20%, whatever that is, they'll set you up on a payment plan. If financial aid is your primary method of payment, then that typically is what they would use to cover the cost of tuition and fees if you have enough funds for that. But great question. Any other questions, Jill?
Um, Not related to the finances, no.
Okay, cool. Alrighty, so we will go on to the next one. So the next one is the tuition and fees, which I had just mentioned previously. So per credit hour, you are looking at $420.25. There's technology fee and a general fee. These fees are in addition to the tuition, and they're per semester. At the end right here, you will see 9 credits per term. So per semester, you're looking at $4,210.75. Below this, you will see the $25 application fee, which right now we are waiving for students who complete the application steps for the spring start that's coming up. There's also professional studies fee. That's a one-time fee of $175. That's typically due towards the beginning of the program and usually comes out of financial aid, but nowhere else in the program is that due. Even if you were to withdraw and have to come back to the program months or years later, you would not be responsible for repaying that. And lastly, there is the graduation fee. So depending on where you are with your credits, if you still have general education courses to complete, you could earn your associate degree on the way to your bachelor's degree. It's not mandatory, but you do have that option since you will be completing that coursework anyway. And the difference is paying 2 graduation fees as opposed to 1. So after you complete your general education courses, you can pay that $150 graduation fee for your associate degree, and then you can move on to your bachelor's degree, at the end of which you would pay another $150 graduation fee for the bachelor's degree. Are there any questions about the tuition and fees at all? And it, do you guys, is there anything that I left out or anything that you can add to that?
Um, I would add that we see that the 9 credit term is 4210.75. You would add that 175 professional studies fee, and that is what you want to calculate if you're thinking of paying cash. To say 80% of that is what I would need up front, and then the rest will be put into payments. If you are moving forward and decide to start and paying cash, and if you want to see about paying earlier, get with your enrollment coach, and they can get you the contact information for the accounting department to discuss if there's options to start making payments sooner rather than later. But again, to get an idea of what that 80% is, if you are paying cash, to take the 4210 plus the 175 and then get 80% of that.
Thank you, Courtney. You see any questions in the chat, Jill?
Yes, I think it's in related to the fees, the professional studies and graduation fees. It says, do those come out of pocket or financial aid?
Good question. Those typically come out of financial aid. If the individual is eligible for financial aid, then those fees usually come out of financial aid. But keep in mind, we all have a specific allotment of financial aid, and it depends on where you are individually with that allotment. And that has to do with any other colleges you have attended, how long you attended, and what financial aid was taken out there. So that all has to come into account. But typically, yes, that does come out of financial aid if that's your primary method of payment.
And then there's one other question about discounts for veterans.
Yes, there are discounts for veterans. And you know what? I think that is going to lead me to the next slide. There is discount for veterans, and it's typically a 20% discount. What we would need for that, and that's discount on the tuition. And so typically what we need in order to make that go through is a copy of the DD 214 showing honorable discharge. There is also a discount eligibility form that we would have you sign and I would sign off on, and that way you would be eligible to receive the 20% discount on the tuition. But good question, that's for military students. And let me go ahead and move to the next slide so you can see what other benefits are and who can receive the 20% discount. So this leads me right into this one, great segue. The discounts, 20% discount, it's for the following: active duty military and qualifying veterans, Austin Police Department, Travis, Harris, Williamson Sheriff's Department. Keep in mind that Sheriff's Department is very important. The Department of Public Safety as well, Austin ISD Police Department also, and City of Austin employees. They typically are able to receive 20% discount on the tuition. And to confirm that, we would typically need either a letter from that employer confirming your employment or a current pay stub. And that is if you're not military and don't have a DD 214. So that is what other individuals to confirm that discount would need. Are there any questions about this information as far as the 20% discount is concerned? And Courtney, if there's anything I left off, please feel free to add on.
No, but I think you pretty much hit it on the nail on the head. But if you do get the discount, please make sure that you are letting your enrollment coach know as soon as possible and getting over the proper documentation so that we can send it to the accounting department in time. If you're not sure if your enrollment coach has it, just ask. And the main goal is to get you guys squared away before classes start. So the sooner we get the documentation from you, the better it will be.
Yes, thank you for that. Yeah, that is very important. Sometimes it does take that military documentation time to process if you're using benefits. So the sooner you notify of that, the sooner you notify us of that, the sooner we can provide you the information on how to get that in. Any other questions about the 20% discount? If not, then we will go ahead and go to the next slide. So this page right here is student testimonials. And this picture right here is of the first graduating class from the adult degree program. And it basically, they are saying what they like about the program and what encouraged them and what helped them move forward. And those are just some of the testimonies of the adult degree program. So are there any questions? Any questions at all about anything that you have just heard this evening regarding the program? Whatever you need in order to make a more informed decision, this is the time to get them out. No question is a silly question. Um, any questions that you have, we will definitely address. And if there's not any questions, then I have a question. How do you get started? I'm glad y'all asked. So with this basically, if you're interested in the program and to get started, you can. It's basically application steps. The application steps are all electronic. One of the enrollment coaches, myself or Jill, can assist you with that. I'm completing them. Once you complete the application steps, typically we request your official transcripts for you. So yes, that is part of our process. You guys do not have to scramble to try to get your transcripts. Usually within the application process, we request the official transcripts for you and pay the transcript fee as well. There is a catch, however, there cannot be a balance or hold at that previous institution that prevents us from requesting and obtaining that. If there is, that will have to be taken care of before we're able to officially admit you. We will not be able to move forward without it. So I want you guys to be aware of that also moving forward as well. But the application steps, once you complete them, we start requesting your transcripts, and after they're completed, we'll provide you the FAFSA steps because our financial aid department typically will not look at a student's FAFSA until after you have been admitted. So that's why we provide those steps in that order. And then from there, once you're admitted, um, everything is processed from there. There are a couple of things you would need to sign, but the next registration opportunity is going to be Tuesday, November 18th. And this is a great time for everyone to get registered in advance. So basically, you would be getting registered for your spring classes in advance and processed for your financial aid well ahead of time. So you would just kind of be cruising on in, waiting for your spring classes to start. I encourage each one on this call, if you're interested in it, to go for that. If you're on the fence, I encourage you to apply. And the reason I say that is because there's you're not obligated. Like once you apply, you're not obligated. But we do want you to move forward, but you're not obligated. It's a great way to start the process, get your transcripts in. So once we get everything, if there's anything or decision you need to make, hey, at least you have everything in. You're admitted. But I encourage you not to wait if you're on the fence because you're going to wait and you're going to miss that opportunity. So take advantage. Any questions that you have, please let us know. We are here to assist.
I think you covered a lot of great things, Tyrus. And just for those, if you're thinking about asking some questions, definitely please do so. This is the time. Tyrus and Jill, myself, we're all here to help make sure that you have a good understanding of how the program works and what to expect. One of the biggest things that I cannot say enough of is with moving forward, we do try to request your transcripts for you, and we try to help you as much as we can. We want to see you get started. We love to see you guys graduate and walk across the stage, but we just can't do more than you do. So when we're calling or emailing, we just ask that you are, responding so that we can help you move forward towards your goal of starting. And then once you get started, you can just move forward with your goals. Classes are going to fly by so quickly. They're only 5 weeks. Next thing you know it, you'll be 1 year in, 2 years in, or walking across the stage for your associates, then your bachelor's, and maybe even looking forward to starting the MBA program with us here. So definitely excited to help you all out. And we encourage you to ask any questions at this time, anything that the presentation did not cover. Please feel free type in your answers. And I'll also go ahead and allow you guys to talk. So if you want to unmute yourself and ask questions versus just typing them, this is your opportunity to do so. All right, it doesn't look like we have anything. Well, if you would like to stay behind and get assistance and more information on completing the application steps, please feel free to do so. If not, have a good evening, and we look forward to speaking with you guys soon.
Thank you guys for coming out.
I think we had a couple of late joiners as well.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, if they have questions, they're more than welcome to ask those. That's what we're here for this evening, to address any questions that you have about the program so we can set you up for success moving forward.
Yeah, I have a few questions. If you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So I already did the transcripts, and I was going to start last semester, but things didn't really work out. What do I already turned in my DD 214. So what else do I have to do to receive the discount? And was it the 20%? Or the 80% has to be up front, and then I get a payment plan?
I can answer that. This is Courtney Chester.
Okay.
Hi, Courtney.
I have shared your information with Teresa. I just have to remind her that it is in there since you didn't start last time.
Okay.
But she is, if for some reason you get the information and it doesn't have the 20%, just remind her and let her know. But I will send her an email tonight to remind her that your information is already uploaded for her to see. And so she should be able to supply you with that information via email as far as what the 80% would be. And then you can schedule work out a payment plan with her moving forward. If you want to see what other options are available, if you wanted to try to pay some sooner rather than later, that is something that you can definitely ask her if that is an option.
When will I get an email from her? Because I haven't received an email yet from her specifically.
Okay, so I talked to her about you on Friday. It should be coming, I would think, soon. But I will follow up with her and see when she can reach out to you, and then I will let you know. Now, if you have received your login credentials already for your HT email, you'll want to check there as well, because she may have sent it there versus your personal email.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check that.
So yeah. So if you can, you should have received your login credentials already. So if you can check that, and then if you could check that tonight and then email me and let me know.
They're not the same login credentials as last time, or is it a new one?
Nope, it should be. If you've already received them from last time, did you get them last time? If you received them last time, it should be the same. You should be able to log in. Once you get your student email address, that's the only way they're gonna communicate with you when it comes to your student files. So check there for me.
Okay.
And if it's not in there, let me know, and then I'll reach out to her.
Okay, will do.
Okay.
Okay. That was it. Thank you.
No problem.
Any other questions? Anyone? I think you're unmuted, so you can go ahead and let them questions fly.
I think her phone is on, her device is on mute, but she can unmute herself. There we go.
Oh, no, I didn't have any questions. I'm talking to the advisors. You guys are really thorough with your information, so I'm good. I'm sorry, but yeah, so I'm pretty caught up with everything so far, so I think I'm okay. But I do have, my boss is actually in your program. She wanted me to make sure that I let somebody know that she's the one that referred me.
Who's your boss?
Her name is Audrey Rodriguez.
Okay. Okay. I'll look her up.
Okay, well, y'all have my email if y'all need her name again, but she was like, you need to tell them so they can know. I was like, okay, so that was pretty much it, but thank you for the information.
You're welcome, Acacia. Thank you for attending. Any other questions from anybody? Concerns about anything at all that you heard tonight?
I think she's the only one left on here.
Oh,
So, Ms. Acacia, if there's nothing else, you can go ahead and um, log off, and I'm sure Jill will be in touch with any remaining steps for you to be able to move forward.